So reading didn't come quite so easily to me in the beginning. It took me a little while to kind of grasp it. I always tried to kind of skip ahead and guess at most of the words in the text. I was thrown in a couple interventions classes when I was younger, but hell, it helped me quite a lot as I got older and everything. Started slowing down a little bit. I'm still not the fastest reader, but I read at a pretty decent pace. It's not super fast, but it's just enough. But it, I enjoy it now here and there when the times are right. So a few things that assisted me when I was learning how to read was the use of, they don't really use them too much now that I've come to find, was, what are they called? They had a name. Well, they're the little ruler kind of things you put to line up the text to see what sentence you're on within. I remember using those, and those assisted me quite a bit as I was going through a lot of my readings and stuff. Even when I had like the at-home AR books we had to read, I would use that to help me out. And it also was a bookmark too. So there was that, and then there was also kind of going back and then kind of stopping and evaluating what was going on within that chapter or that paragraph, and kind of using context clues to go back and get a further understanding of what I was actually reading at that time. So I'd use that. Those were a couple different elements that were used for myself to help me as I was doing all my readings and everything. One thing I hope to offer my students as I go forward is just that it's okay if we're all slow readers. You don't have to be super fast or super precise with anything. Like I have no problem helping them out and just like slowing them down, making sure they're on the right track and everything, and that they're understanding what they are reading. So one book I read as a young adult, especially when I was in middle school and everything, and it was everything. All my readings were kind of based around AR books and everything, and AR points, and we had a certain quota we had to meet within that month, or what's it called? Within the quarter we were in, we had to meet a certain requirement points, and so I always went after the big books, and I ended up reading the Twilight Saga of all things. So a little bit about that. It's about vampires and kind of coming of age in high school kind of ordeal. There's a bunch of movies on it too. I'm pretty sure everybody has pretty much seen them by now. But that is something that I did end up reading quite a bit when I was younger. Unfortunately, I don't have the books here with me right now. I really found it enjoyable because it was a really easy read. Nothing was too hard to really understand or grasp. It was pretty straightforward. And the characters and how it bounced around was really cool. That's kind of something I really enjoyed reading about. Was I would just focus on Bella for the most of the part, and then there'd be a small expert maybe from Edward's perspective or Jacob's perspective in a couple of the other books itself. I would not use that book for any vocabulary comprehension or instruction. It just wouldn't work out quite well, I think, for anything I'd be doing. But I did pick an alternate book that would fit very well. When I was doing my college thesis and everything, it was centered around gladiators and their impact on Roman society. My professor had recommended SPRQ to me for some gladiator stuff because she knew there was a little bit in there, and it turned out I was able to use 2 sentences from this book for my thesis, so it was awesome. But I kept reading it as I went through because I had to find a couple more elements from there, and my God, it has a lot. And I mean, I love that book. SPRQ has so much. It just has, God, it has everything in there. It's a history of ancient Rome, and I love ancient Rome. It's one of the books where I would be pulling experts from and other vocabulary stuff if I were teaching history. 100% would use that book for that as we go through Rome, because there is a lot in there that it has to offer. And even going through some of the stuff I am right now in my subbing position, a lot of it's really broad, and this kind of book especially is just there's so much to throw in. So that's something I would totally use for vocabulary and comprehension stuff, is even pulling out a couple chapters and having us read them, and then going back and just examining them as we go through, because there is a lot of great stuff in here. I found that there's a whole bunch of books I have that I want to pull from when I go to teaching, because the books have a lot to offer everyone.